Ever wondered who pays for smooth roads, public schools, or police patrols? All these services cost money, lots of it. The government's job is to provide these essentials, but where does the money come from? It's not magic, and there's no secret money tree. The funds must be generated, collected, and managed, just like any household or business, just on a much bigger scale. You might think, why not just print more money? But printing money without real value behind it leads to inflation, making everything more expensive. So the government needs real, sustainable sources of income. So let's dive in and explore these streams, starting with the most famous one of all: taxes. Taxes are the government's main source of money. Think of them as the subscription fee for living in a functioning society. There are two main types: direct and indirect taxes. Direct taxes are paid straight from your income or wealth, like income tax and corporate tax. The more you earn, the more you contribute. Capital gains tax is another example, paid when you profit from selling assets. Indirect taxes, on the other hand, are built into the price of goods and services, like the Goods and Services Tax, GST, or customs duty on imports. Every time you buy a coffee or a movie ticket, you're paying a bit to the government without even noticing. Indirect taxes are collected from millions of transactions daily, adding up to a huge revenue stream. Both types of taxes are essential, funding everything from public transport to national defense. While taxes may not be fun, they're the backbone of public services. Without them, the government simply couldn't function. But taxes aren't the only way the government earns money. Beyond taxes, the government has other income sources. Its side hustles, known as non-tax revenue. This includes profits and dividends from government-owned companies called public sector undertakings, PSUs. Fees for services like renewing a driver's license or applying for a passport also add up. Fines for breaking rules, rent from government-owned land, and interest earned on loans to states all contribute. Even small things like fees from tourists visiting monuments or unclaimed money go into the pot. None of these sources rival taxes, but together, they make a significant impact. They help reduce the government's reliance on taxes alone. Still, sometimes, even all this isn't enough. When expenses outpace income, the government faces a budget deficit, so it borrows money. It issues bonds, borrowing from citizens, banks, or even international institutions like the World Bank or IMF. Borrowing funds big projects like highways or railways that can't be paid for in a single year. But loans must be repaid, with interest, so borrowing is a tool to be used wisely. Another strategy is disinvestment, selling shares in government-owned companies to private investors. This brings in quick cash and can make those companies more efficient. Borrowing and disinvestment are powerful tools for funding growth and managing shortfalls, but they also create future obligations. Used carefully, they help the government invest in the nation's future. All these sources combine to keep the country running. So where does all the government's money come from? Taxes, both direct and indirect, form the foundation. Non-tax revenue from profits, fees, fines, and rents adds resilience. Borrowing and disinvestment provide extra fuel for big projects and tough times. Together, these streams create the national budget, the money that pays for roads, schools, hospitals, and more. Understanding this system shows how our contributions power the nation. Every tax paid, every fee, every bond bought, it all adds up. We're all part of the engine that keeps our country moving forward. That's how the government's wallet really works. If you learned something new today, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this.